Okay guys, gonna do a video review. I've seen this video many times. I watch how you paddle, and the one thing that all of you have in common is that your upper bodies are very active, right? You're basically initiating and driving down, relying on your upper bodies, right? Your bottom arm, your lats, and especially your top arm, right? So what I'm seeing a lot of, right? How do I know this? Right? I'm just watching your top elbows, right? And how they kind of really, some of you, your elbows buckle, the top elbows buckle down, and I just see a lot of tension in your top arms, right? Remember, you want to try and lead your stroke using your lower body. However, right now it's a lot of upper body, right? You're up in the air, you come down with your top arm, right? And then you just pull back, right? When that happens, you rip the front half of your stroke, your paddle becomes really negative real quick, and you're never really set. Your paddle is never really set in the water at all. So you're just kind of like ripping, right? And that's why you guys are stuck at the back, right? Pulling back a little too far because you've never you're not able to set the blade in the water up front, simply because you come down with the top arm, top hand, you come down too hard, and then you just rip the water, right? You rip the catch. And that's why I've always had to tell you guys to exit a little early off the back, right? And the way to solve this, right, is initiating your stroke starting at the exit. Swing the inside hip back, right? That will cause your outside shoulder to swing forward, and simply set the blade in the water. Once the blade's fully buried, you gotta have patience, right? Let the boat come up towards the paddle, right? And rotate and square your body up with the boat as it goes up towards the paddle, right? So you gotta be aware of how fast the boat's going, and then you have to have the patience to move up towards the paddle at the same speed as the boat, right? That's how you stay connected, and that's how you want to try and move to maximize efficiency, right? Going at a lower intensity. So observe yourselves, Graham, top hand too close to your face. Herbert, right? Watch your elbow, Herbert, right? It's really low, right? Just simply coming down, and that space, right? That volume of space in front of you, in front of your face, right? Between your arms and your face and your torso, right? You want to maximize that. However, what I see is that it shrinks. It shrinks because you guys are pulling the paddle back towards your seat, so that volume shrinks, and you just don't get as much leverage when that volume of air shrinks down, right? So we got a close up here. Really nice reach up front, really positive, right? However, I'm missing the point a little bit, right? You just want to set the blade up front and move up towards the paddle as the same speed as the boat, right? So you got to gauge how fast the boat's moving, and then move with it, right? Square your hips up back towards the paddle, right? However, there's a lot of upper body coming down, smashing down into the water, and ripping the catch, right? So you watch Priscilla, right? Stroke looks a little short, just coming down, pulling back way too soon, right? So you gotta try and spend more time in the water up front, right? You're just pulling back way too soon, Priscilla, right? You just gotta. That's why it looks really short. Okay. Right, Alice, right, watch that elbow, the top elbow, same thing, boom, right? It's the most active part of your stroke, right? The thing is that all of you are doing the same thing, right? So you can, you're all feeling the same thing. So at least at least it's something that you all can work on together collectively. Okay, so I talk so much. Now let's watch me paddle. Okay, I really want you all to observe my top arm, my bottom shoulder, right? I want you to observe the space in front of me, right in front of my face, that triangle made between my paddle and my arms, right? And how that space is maintained, is open. I keep it as big and as large as possible, right, throughout the stroke, right? From my exit, catch, recovery, that space is never compromised. It's still the same size throughout, right? I maintain that A-frame, I maintain that triangle throughout, right? So you watch my outside shoulder, right? I'm thinking about locking it into the water up front. Once it's locked in, right, and this requires patience, you got to wait for a split moment, and then I drive my hip forward. So as I drive my hip forward, right, my boat moves forward, and therefore my top arm comes down because there's really no place to go, right? The top arm comes down as a result of my inside hip rotating forward. I am not purposefully driving it down. I am not purposefully accelerating it down because it does not help. It does not help me with my catch. In fact, it will kill my catch. Right? All I'm thinking about is setting the blade, locking it in with my outside shoulder, and then driving my hip and squaring it up towards the paddle. My boat therefore moves forward, and that will cause me to sit back up, and therefore my top arm comes down as a result of that motion. It's like it's an after motion, right? It's not an intentional motion, it's a follow through motion, right? My top arm follows through, right? It follows through as a result of my inside hip rotating forward, right? So try and figure out my motion, try and figure out when I'm accelerating, when I'm locked in, figure out the forces that are going through in my body, right? And hopefully that will help, right? So you want to catch up front. Right? I'm working on my catch, I'm trying to get it buried when my shaft is positive, but the best I can do seems to be, when my blade is perpendicular. I can get away with it because there's that angle to the blade, but that's what I'm working on. Okay, so watch me lifetime, right? This is going to be our start, right? Going to go hard, and then we're going to transition, right? I can't maintain this throughout the whole race, Watch, my race going to come down. I'm going to keep it smooth. I maintain technique, maintain form, right? And I can go for a long time like this. Okay, anyway, I hope this helps. I'm out. Bye.